Welcome back. We are with Don J on today's edition of The Gig, and I've been talking to him a little bit about how he got started in Sri Lanka and then when he flew into Singapore. Right, Don, we hear that you were signed onto a record label, and that's really hot news. What about that?
Basically, during the time that I was DJing, I was performing for some gig in Singapore itself, and my label crew, as in like some of the artists, they were performing for that gig as well.
Okay.
So that's where I firstly met them, the 108 Faction crew, and after that, like they were interested in getting new artists on board, and I let them listen to my Time track, which was done by Aslan.
Okay, it's called Time.
Yeah,
Okay.
the track is called Time, and they listened to the track, and actually by that time I had like a earlier version, earlier edit of the video as well. So they went through the video, and they were pretty much impressed with the kind of music that I have been doing.
Okay.
So they just got me on board as an artist.
That is fabulous. But okay, when you're signed on, how does it start? Is it pressurizing? Are you supposed to compromise a lot of what you want to do? How is it now? Like how does it work?
Okay,
with the
basically,
label?
like when I was doing music in Sri Lanka, I had no proper idea of how a label works.
Right.
But once I started working with guys over there, I can see like there's a separate management to, like, from my image and from the parties that I perform, from the gigs that I perform. Everything is selected, and they just like kind of guide me through all these processes, and I pretty much like it, because like then as an artist you have a proper vision and proper goal to move ahead. So far it has never been pressurizing, because the guys have a proper vision of like where our music is gonna go to, and so I kind of like it.
So you're not alone, Don. Right now, with this label, what will be your primary audience?
Basically, our label has okay, the main guy of the label is called Monkey King Taitsuke Yamamoto. He's a Japanese artist, like raised in Britain. So like he has that total Britain and Asian flavor going on.
Right.
And we have few artists, like a Korean rapper, a Filipino rapper, and few Singaporean like artists, like DJs and singers as well. And I represent Sri Lanka. So basically, the whole collective is an Asian collective.
Right.
So our direction is like we're trying to create the idea that even Asia can beat the Western R&B hip hop market.
Right.
So the label is totally the R&B hip hop label,
Right.
and we are trying to do music in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, like the whole Southeast Asia. Plus, like since now I'm on board, it's gonna be Sri Lanka as well.
Okay, Don. So basically, your audience is going to be extremely diverse, multicultural, different cross sections of people. Do you think you have what it takes to appeal to all these audiences?
It's gonna be really tough, definitely. But what we believe is like we have to start it somewhere. So far we have been like seeing some positive hope from the comments and then the responses that we get whenever we perform in Singapore. And also like our label already have like quite a number of like artists from different cultures, including me representing Sri Lanka. So basically, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is like collaborate as much as possible and create an Asian sound. And when I said Asian sound, like some of my Sinhalese tracks are even well received by Singaporean friends of my own, because sometimes I have a song that I did for the track is called Amme. It's a track for mother, but it's totally in Sinhalese. But one day one of my friends listened to the track, and he's a Singaporean guy, and he loved the track, and he keeps on listening to the track, and he has shown some interest to do a video for that track for me. So that's kind of a positive hope that we can do something to cater to all that audience, even though it's different cultures.
Right, and so what we're hearing now is Amma. Amme.
Amme.
Right. It's beautiful. Okay, so I think it sounds really exciting because it's a great fusion of Asian music because it's Southeast,
Yeah,
South, yeah, South Asia, which part of Sri Lanka. That's going to be a very interesting collaboration. Right. Just for a second, setting aside music completely, what else puts a smile on your face?
Since I was a kid, I always loved to hang around with my friends because I'm the only child in my family, so I didn't have brothers or sisters to play around with. So I treasure my friends a lot. So and I love going out, making new friends. Going for movies or sometimes going clubbing and just spending time with my friends and have a great time. That's what I do.
Okay, so Don here likes friends. Don, talking slightly about friends and interaction. So you like to open up to people and meet different kinds of people.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a very open person.
Right. How are you with women in general?
I think I'm doing good so far.
You write songs about them. You must be. Do you have a big following of a female fan base in Singapore?
I'm not sure, but I think yeah.
I think. Okay, this guy is really modest. I'm sure you have plenty. So, is there a certain someone special, or what are your dating prospects if you're looking into? What turns your head?
Definitely love.
Okay.
Yeah, someone who's loving, but for me, especially as a person who's in the music industry, I think you need understanding a lot. Because we have to do music videos and all sorts of things. So the person has to be really understanding, what your career is and what you are, as a normal person.
Right. I've heard this from so many musicians, Don, but I understand it is important, of course. Right. More personal questions later on. Can we move on to a song? Because, well, first of all, I want the audience to hear you as much as possible. And besides, you're leaving to Singapore, right?
In 1 week's time, I'll be going back.
In 1 week's time. That's not too long. So let's get everything we can from you today. So what are you singing?
Okay, this track is called Ma Langing. Right. It's a Sinhalese track that I wrote for this upcoming album. And yeah, basically music is done by Azlan.
Okay.
සවනට කොඳුරා කියන්න ඔබ මගේ මයි කියා සදා හීනකින් හොරෙන් ඇවිත් හාදු දෙන්න නෙත් අගින් ආලනුරා බැලුම් දෙන්න ජීවිතේ පුරා වෙන්න ඔබ මගේ සදා හීන මාලිගා තනාලා වලාකුලින් නේහා තාරකා පියල්ලේ නුබේදෙනෙත් සෝයා පියා සලායමි මෙමා සුරංගනාව වාගේ කතා පොතින් ගේනා රූබරයි බොහෝසේ දඟකාරනු මෙහිනා වෙන්න ඔබ මගේ සදා වෙන්න ඔබ මගේ සදා ආදරෙන් බලා නොඉන්න මන් දිහා ගොඩක් වෙලා ආදරෙන් පිරිච්ච මගේ හදේ ගැස්ම වැඩි වෙලා වේදනා දිදී නොයන්නකෝ මාව පාරවා හිතෙන කොටත් ඒ ගැන හද ඩික් ඩික් ගානවා පාළුවෙන් පිරී තිබුණු ජීවිතේට ආදරේ අකුරු කියා දුන්නු නුඹට ජීවිතේ පුරා Medere karami sada hine maliga tanala malakulin meha tare kapi alle medenit soya Pia salai mi me mao Surangana vage katapotin kena Ruberai bohose dangakaranu mehina Venno be mage sada Venno be mage sada Venno be mage sada Venno be mage sada Mage sada When be mage sada.
Oh, it's a beautiful tune. Gotta go for a break, but stay with us.